Hello everybody, my name is Lindsay and today is day one of the carnivore diet. Little history. Last year I started the carnivore diet on August 1st, which is kind of fun that I'm starting it again on August 1st. And I had so many intentions to continue and to keep going, and I felt so good on the diet, but then I got pregnant a month in. I wasn't exactly prepared to get pregnant that quickly after starting the diet, and if you kind of want a little bit more history, I have a video and I'll link it up above. So I got pregnant and then I had horrible meat aversion, so I slowly fell off. I still always prioritized meat in my diet and tried to keep the sugars and the seed oils out, and I was so grateful for that knowledge. I kept trying to eat eggs every morning for breakfast. I still did better than I ever did than before when I was doing just the standard American diet where I was eating carbs all day, and I was like reading labels, and I'd never done that before. That was like crazy to me to actually read a label. Why would you do that? You just take a bag of Cheetos and you just stuff the whole thing down your throat. And why the heck would you have issues after that? I don't know. Maybe it's all the crap that was in those Cheetos. I don't like the way my body feels when I have a lot of carbs. So I'm trying to go back to the basics. Carnivore is that basic for me. Carnivore is what I'm doing right now, and I'm doing 30 days, and I'm feeling really good. It's only been one day, and last night I stood on the scale, and this is the footage from that, and I was 201 pounds at 0.4 pounds. So last year when I did it, I started at 225, and I lost 15 pounds before I found out I was pregnant. And I continued to lose while I was pregnant because I was still getting rid of inflammation. I was still getting rid of excess fat, and there's still excess fat on me currently. But I lost until I got down to 196 at one point, and then I started gaining weight because I had a baby growing inside me. and I was a little less strict on meat eating and whatnot, so I gained a little bit more weight. I got back up, I think when I went in for my C-section, I was at 222, somewhere in there. I had my baby and I stayed about like 215, but then I lost it really quickly, got back down to under 200 in the first 2 weeks after having my baby, just losing everything, fluids and whatnot. And then I was stress eating the foods that you're supposed to eat when you don't have a high enough milk supply, like oats and spinach, and I was just stress eating these foods because I was like trying to up my milk supply. Would not recommend that. Once I started prioritizing meat in my diet is when I actually started to get more milk supply. So that, guys, it helps with milk supply too. So at least for me it did. Eating the oats just made me fat. Like I went from like 196 or 198, whatever. I don't honestly know exactly where I was. I was in the 190, between like 95 and 200, somewhere in there when my baby was 2 weeks old. He wasn't getting enough to eat because my milk supply just wasn't there. And so I did have to supplement with formula, and I started pumping, and I started focusing on my health because that was important, and focusing on drinking water. And I started to feel better, and I made sure I was taking my prenatals, which I just take a vitamin K2 and D3 and then a folate, and that's basically what my prenatals are. I'm probably missing some things, but those are the ones that I prioritize. This isn't about breastfeeding. I don't know why I'm talking about that. Anyway, I was able to start producing enough for my baby. I went from 197 or whatever when I got to my lowest while I was breastfeeding, right after the baby's birth, and then I jumped up within like 2 weeks, a week and a half, whatever it was, to 212. And that was because I was eating the freaking oats every day. I was eating so many oats, and I was like, this is gonna help me get my milk supply up, and it just never did. I felt like I was giving him so much formula. I do produce enough for him. So, and that's was my goal, was just to be able to produce enough for him. And it would be nice to have like a stash in the freezer, but I am not worried about that. And yeah, so I got to 212 pounds, and that was an eye-opening experience. I'm like, wow, I weigh as much as I did when I first got pregnant, and I kept losing weight while I was pregnant. So why am I gaining so much right now? And so I was just like, I need to change something. I need to feel better. I need to change things. So I started eating more meat and less of the other crap. And that really did help. And I am back down because I spent the month of July transitioning from a not standard American. I wouldn't say it's completely standard American, maybe a meat-heavy standard American diet with less carbs, but still not totally keto. From that to what was like a way good ketovore at the end of July, and now today I'm doing carnivore. And I did a slow transition over the month of July so that I wouldn't lose my milk supply, because that would be tragic. And so my goal is to continue to make myself healthy so that I can make my baby healthy. And I keep pointing over to my baby because he's in the swing right there, and he's hopefully gonna fall asleep. I did just give him, I nursed him and I gave him a bottle, so hopefully he'll just take a good long nap for mommy. But I was gonna show you my stats from my last video, not my last video, but like the last video where I showed my stats. Filmed that video right before I found out I was pregnant, so I'm gonna share those stats for you right here. As you can see, I lost some inches and I lost some weight, and then I can continue to keep losing weight. Yes, I'm doing carnivore again. I will feel much better at the end of it, and I'm excited. And I have a lot of things that I'm hoping to change with it, but I want to take some measurements.
So it's kind of fun to see how much I lost from even just the last time I took measurements, but in my chest, I was 42.5. In my left and right arms, I was 15.5. My waist was 36.5, and this is in inches. Belly was 44.5. Hips were 46 inches. Left and right thighs were the same, 26.5. Left calf was a little bit bigger than the right one, 16.5 and 16 inches. But my weight was 201.4. I'm just going off of the weight that I took the night before, just because that's what I felt like doing. And I didn't weigh myself the morning of. So there you go.
I'm so excited. I've only had one meal today so far. I started out with like kind of snacking on butter. I really do enjoy eating like little bites of butter here and there. I like salted butter specifically. I might switch to unsalted butter later on, but I specifically like a salted butter. And then I did like 5 eggs. I did 6 eggs in a skillet with a bunch of butter, and then I gave about an egg of it to my 3-year-old toddler. So that was good. And then I threw a little bit of some smoked sausage in there. We had leftovers, so I just threw it in there. And I know that like there's gonna be some ingredients that aren't whole carnivore ingredients, just because I'm not perfect, and I don't ever really plan to be perfect at anything. I am not very dogmatic. I just want to improve my health, and if I need to cut things out because they're not improving my health, that's what I'll do. And if I need to bring things back in because I either enjoy them, because and they don't mess me up obviously, but sometimes you just enjoy things, and that's okay too. And everyone is so different. I really like watching like Laura Spath, because she does things for her health specifically, and she eats some things that aren't carnivore, and that's okay, because you gotta do what you gotta do, and everyone is different. Like today, I'm still trying to wean myself off of this. This is hard for me right now, especially since I am nursing all night long and I don't get naps throughout the day. I've been drinking caffeine in the form of Diet Coke. I know it's not great. I've been addicted to Diet Coke basically my entire life. Like, I would drink it from my mom and stuff, and you know, I'm doing my best. And right now I'm focusing on the food, and the Diet Coke doesn't have sugar in it, so I'm not cutting that out because I might need it for the next month. And then after that, I'm going to reevaluate. After the 30 days is over, I'm going to reevaluate everything that I've done. I'm going to try and limit how much Diet Coke I'm drinking. I have like a 12 pack in my pantry, and I won't let myself have more than one a day, if that. And like of the little cans, you know, just the normal cans. Sometimes I need that little pick-me-up throughout the day. So I'm using it right now. I did have one today already, and you know, I'm not gonna beat myself up over using that as a crutch until I feel better, until I get to my proper human diet, because everyone is so different. Everyone uses their own crutches, whatever it is. It might be an emotional crutch, a food crutch. It might be just, you know, something. Maybe you sit and watch YouTube videos all day to try and distract yourself from wanting to eat sugar, which I do that too. But there's just lots of different crutches that you can use, and I'm utilizing this one, and I do plan on cutting it out. I was able to cut it out for a while. I did kind of bring it back in when I was pregnant. I tried not to drink a lot because I did get kidney stones my first pregnancy, and that was the worst experience of my life. And I don't want to repeat that. And I didn't get my pregnancy with my newborn, so that's great. My second born child, I did have a miscarriage in between, so it's kind of hard to say like second pregnancy because it wasn't really my second pregnancy anyway. But yeah, so I'm excited for my results. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you are joining me, today is my day 1, and I'm hoping I can get this video up in a couple days or tomorrow or something. We'll see how quickly I can get it up. But yeah, I love you guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.